AM 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fading away, the good old USA. The amber waves of grain were dying off. Then the businessman stepped up and said, I'll make America great again. America then spoke across the land. Thank you, Donald Trump. The people who love the USA so much. We just wanted to say America's great again today. Because you cared enough to take a stand.
All right, 23 minutes before 11 o'clock. That's William Hein singing right there. He's the co-founder. Am I saying that right? No, I said it wrong. What am I got wrong, Robin? What do I have wrong here?
I don't know. Okay. I had you as the co-founder of Panorama Monthly.
Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. Let me you introduce yourselves. Who was that singing right there?
That's Michael Chauncey.
That's Michael
Tampa.
Chauncey. Okay,
yes.
okay.
Michael Chauncey.
And you're the writer.
My sister's the writer.
You're the writer.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
Who did I talk to on the phone? Who did I talk to on the phone?
Probably you.
Probably
Bill.
me.
William?
Yeah, it was Bill.
All right.
Right.
Well, let's start over again. That's a song about Donald Trump. And you wrote this, Alicia, right?
Yes, I did.
And you're a writer
Yes.
in everything, writer of books and writer of music and everything,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I enjoy it very much.
All right, so Alicia Hein Cook, correct?
Yes.
And let me put your book on here real quickly. This is the one we're going to talk about also today. It's My Summers on Hemingway Road. Do I have that right?
Yes, you do.
How is it possible we got this information wrong? Okay, well, thank you for coming in here.
It was my error.
William, did you call us originally?
Right.
Okay.
I called for Alicia.
You called for Alicia, okay.
Right.
But not for the song.
Well, for the song, and then when we did the bio, we included the book in it as well.
And Cynthia,
Yes.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
What do you do?
I'm going to be moving to Georgia, and I do voiceovers on the side and
Well,
advertising.
you got a great voice.
Thank you.
So good for you.
Thanks.
Wow. Well, and you've studied radio, sounds like.
Yes, I studied radio, and I interned at CBS in Orlando.
Nice. Good
I
job.
love it. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right. Well, so let me make sure I understand what we're doing. I thought we were going to focus on a song and then focus on a book in this interview.
Yes.
That's correct.
Is that correct? So
That's correct.
let's start with the song. And William, do you have anything to do with the song at all?
Yes.
What
I
is-
was the
what is your
producer, executive producer of it. Put
you're
together all
you're
the
producer.
parties.
Okay.
Brought everyone together, and we did it right here in Ocala.
And I'm part producer as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm here.
Share
Yes.
the videos. Well, see, we learn things in the course of an interview. All right, so Alicia, let me ask you, how did this song start? You are where it all began, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I know the last presidential election was very confrontational and thought things would die down a little bit after our president took office. And about 3 months into him taking office, I was watching the news, and it wasn't just like people were upset that he got in. It was downright vicious, and it really upset me because he is our president. So I just got the idea in my head, we need the people that voted for him and really like what he's doing for the country. We need to thank him because it doesn't get out that much when people are so grateful for the things he's trying to do for this country. So I started out, with a little bit, and then I put it aside for a couple months. Something kept dragging me back. I got another verse, and then I put it aside again. And about 2 months ago, I was actually making breakfast, and something drew me to sit down and make the third verse, and it came out in 5 minutes. It's actually my favorite verse. It says, for the USA, we will pray, in God we trust, must stay. And it really hit me yesterday when I heard on the news that Minnesota was actually trying to get rid of in God We Trust. So that is my favorite verse, and I just think our president needs to be thanked and not chastised so much.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's a crazy circumstance we have in our country where the approach seems to be almost like a football game, except more animosity.
Very.
Yeah, I mean, you should be for your team. That's fine, but don't. Once somebody's elected, that's the party shouldn't be important. The person is now representing everybody.
We're all Americans.
Parties. Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying there. So the first part about the businessman who becomes the president, that's probably something we needed. Ross Perot would have fit that same.
Absolutely,
same
absolutely. He was a
yeah.
businessman. Yes.
Yeah, and I think we do need that. I mean, when a person is elected into office, whether it's the city council or the federal government, I mean, the main job they have is figuring out what to do with the money.
Correct.
Because ultimately, if we are a people of the country, then it's our money running everything, right?
Exactly.
And so they have to be the stewards of our money. So I understand.
And he
what you're
really
saying.
didn't have to do it. I mean, here you have a multimillionaire, billionaire. He doesn't get paid for what he's doing. He's doing a great job, in my opinion, and he still gets terrible, terrible abuse every day, and his family does too.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to meet him or
Not yet, but I'm hoping to.
Well, we have a lady who used to come. She used to live in Marion County. She's good friends with him.
Oh, really?
She was friends with him in the real estate market up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Now lives in South Florida, and guess what? He lives there too. So she goes to a lot of his functions, and she's always posting.
That would
pictures.
be amazing.
Yeah, she always posts pictures. So we'll slip her a note and ask her if he'd like to meet you.
Awesome.
Let me. I have never met him, by the way, just so you know. But
Well, you come too.
But it feels like I have. You know why? Because he feels like somebody I've known all my life.
Exactly. I feel the same way. So when everyone's saying, not just like, oh, we don't like him, he's not very good, it's so awful, I feel like they're insulting family.
Well, the one thing I don't get, is I heard something that he said some anti-Semitic remarks. And I said, well, okay, if you're going to tell me he said that, where, when? And I looked him up. I couldn't find one.
Right.
I mean, I don't get it.
Well,
On the
that's his
aside to
fake
that
news.
too is his son-in-law.
Is
of
Jewish.
course, is Jewish.
Yeah,
and you look and see his stance on Israel is exactly not anti-Semitic.
I know. I don't get and people will say stuff and they don't have anything to back it up. So anyway, that's politics. Mm-hmm. So how did the song? Tell me about the song. You wrote the words?
I wrote the words and the music.
You wrote the music.
Yes.
So do you play an instrument or did
the piano?
You play a piano.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So so you wrote it all, and how did it become a recording? How did that happen?
Well,
that's your job, right?
Yeah.
I had shown the song to my brother, and I'm like, do you think there's anything in this? And he's like, well, I think the words are amazing. So he sought out the recording studio.
Yeah.
And we had the most fun. It was 7-hour recording studio day with Wayne Johnston and Michael Chauncey, and it was probably one of my bucket list things to do is to be in a recording studio and put out a song.
Neat.
And he found it was Passion Recording Studio, yeah.
In Ocala?
In Ocala.
Okay,
Right.
so let's give credit where credit's due.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Who did the singing again?
Michael Chauncey.
Michael Chauncey, okay.
Who also has a studio down in Tampa, but he's just a brilliant multi-instrumentalist that came in, and like Alicia was saying, 7 hours. If L.A. could run things the way that Wayne ran things that day, it would be a lot more profitable business. I mean, it just went so smoothly, and within the next day it was mastered, and then we had the product ready to go.
And you released it as a CD?
Yes.
And it's available on a website. What was the website again?
AmericaGreatAgain.site.
That site, that's right. I made that mistake earlier. So that's where I was playing it from, by the way, was your website.
Oh, okay.
I know you brought us a CD, but I don't have a CD device here to play it on. So
Yes.
So what were the challenges in producing it? And either one of you want to talk about that? Was it hard to produce, or?
Actually, with the whole situation from working with Passion Recording Studios, we thought that we'd run into something, something would go amok, but it ran so smoothly, and we kept praying for everything to go through right, and just from the from her writing it, and it did take about a year, and I kept pursuing, telling her, you know, you need to keep doing what you love, and she just kept doing it. And then when we went into the studio, Michael Chauncey, we had heard his voice, and it was amazing. It was something that you could tell that he had a passion in as well. We didn't want somebody, you know, just getting it and not
really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
But he's also a pastor, and we were really blessed to make his acquaintance, and coming in and doing all of the instruments. And like I said, 7 hours, everything was done. And that goes to the excellence of Wayne Johnston, who is also a former deputy sheriff here in Marion County.
Is that
and a
right?
helicopter, yes.
Oh, good for him.
He's
Wow.
a great guy.
So, William, are you the co-founder of Panorama Monthly, or is that?
Yes, I was, yes.
Okay, and what is that?
Well, Panorama Monthly was a monthly entertainment and events guide. That's when I first moved here from California, and my father was in the newspaper business, and we decided to start a publication here in Marion County, and we ran that until he went home to heaven.
Oh, okay. And is it Panorama? Is it got anything to do with the Silver Spring Shores area, or no?
No, we're county-wide in circulation, but the panorama aspect of the brand was because we covered everything, a wide spectrum of events.
Because wasn't there a Panorama Hotel or something up there?
Panorama Inn.
Yes, come to think of it, there was. Yeah.
Yeah. So Alicia is your sister.
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting it now. And Cynthia, you're
She's my daughter.
the daughter. Okay, you're all beautiful. So Alicia, now you're the producer of something called Kids Corner.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, that was when she was a little girl back in the 80s. I started a children's magazine before Manatee even made it to town. And it had information for parents and kids.
Uh-huh.
And I took them to all the public schools, took them at the time as well as private. And it was just a really fun thing to do.
So writing has been part of your being all your life, right?
Yes, I really enjoy it.
William, are you a writer?
Yes.
Oh, you have the gene too.
Yes, I do.
And Cynthia, do you write?
I'm good at writing sales pitches and things like that from the voiceover aspect, but I don't. I
So, but still, words are a thing.
Yes.
Seems to be the
She's a
common
good script writer.
a common denominator.
I have a good imagination.
Is the video? I mean, is the song a video? Have you made a video for
Not
this
yet.
song? Not yet. Is that a thought? I'm sure
We
you've
have thought
of-
about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And we're specifically thinking of going up to the Plymouth, Massachusetts area, around the monument to the forefathers up there that was built by the Pilgrim Society, because this is the time we're at right now, is going back to those basic principles and values while still moving forward with everything that's ahead of us.
But maintaining history.
Maintaining history, yes.
I don't like seeing the history getting thrown out.
So speaking of history,
Or altered.
Yes.
Or altered.
speaking of history, what is your connection with Hemingway? What is that?
Well,
You're
when my-
from Michigan, right?
Yes, I'm from Michigan, and my grandparents bought a cottage, a beach cottage on Hemingway Road, which had about 8 cottages on it. And Ernest Hemingway's uncle lived next door to my grandparents. So my parents ended up building a cottage next door to our grandparents. There was vacant land, and so Ernest Hemingway's first cousins were like grandparents to us.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
they told us everything about
Did they have
Ernest.
beards?
No. No, they didn't.
Okay, so I mean to interrupt you. So did you? And so you have
Amazing
a
stories.
family connection with the Hemingway?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Are you a fan of his writing?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And did you discover his writing as a child?
Yes.
or
Oh,
as
yes.
an adult?
Absolutely. Being next door neighbors to them, we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
really told. In fact, his cousin, who was much older, like a grandmother to us, read the Nick Adams stories to us, which he mentions Hemingway Point, which is right where our cottage
That's actually
was.
the setting for the Nick Adams stories, a lot
Yeah.
of
Oh, is
so,
that right?
yeah.
Okay, so the book, let me put the book on the screen just for a second here. This is the cover, My Summers on Hemingway Road. So this is like a memoir for you?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, and you, what years do you cover in the book?
I cover about 1964 through 1977. And all family stories, all the families along Hemingway Road were very close-knit. We all had winter homes and summer homes. And
Where was your winter home?
our winter home was in Jackson, Michigan. My father was the manager
That's
of
not
the
very
newspaper.
far away.
No,
Wait.
4.5 hours.
Usually a winter home is like
For a
someplace
kid, it was a
warm.
long ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was that a summer? I mean, a winter home? Is it warmer? Was it warmer in Jackson?
No, it's just that, well, Dad had to come up on weekends and work all week long, and Mom and the kids, we got to go up there.
So
for the whole summer.
tell me what life was like on Hemingway Road in those years.
It was fantastic. We were so privileged. I mean, we had a beach, we could go swimming, we had all kinds of boats, sailboats, paddle boats, motorboats.
Forgive me for not knowing this, but is that Lake Michigan? Is that where you would be?
Lake Charlevoix feeds right into Lake Michigan.
What's it called? Lake Charlevoix?
Lake Charlevoix.
Charlevoix.
Yes.
Robin's from Wisconsin. Do you know that lake?
No, I don't.
And we're about an hour and a half from Mackinac Island. So everyone knows
love
Mackinac. Yes, we love
Mackinac
Mackinac
Island.
Island. And my uncle owned a marina up there. We were always around boats, and sadly, we lost him last week. So
Oh, wow. Too bad.
I'm
so
happy
sorry.
that he is in this memoir.
Yeah,
So,
sure. So as you're writing it, are you kind of reliving it as you're actually sitting there with the computer?
Oh,
typing it?
absolutely. It's so much fun. I'm working on the second book on the shores of Charlevoix right now. I have so many stories. And, the 60s and 70s were really amazing for kids because they weren't on computers all the time. You went out, you played, you swim, you were tired at night, you slept well, got up again, had it all to do again, and we didn't have TV. We didn't even have good reception up there. We had the antenna with the foil on it, to catch something once in a while. But it was we really were privileged children.
It's I love when local authors write books about the area. So are you being well received in that area? Or
I've been in the Charlevoix Historical Society for the last 15 years.
Oh,
all the
nice.
bookstores up there. It's been well received. And I am doing a YouTube video right now that's coming out this summer.
Oh, is that right?
With all the people who were a part of it, pictures and
Wow.
So.
Well, good for you. And do you live here now, right, in Ocala?
I've lived in Ocala for 34 years.
34 years?
Yes. She was 3 years old when we moved here.
Oh my gosh. So this is your Hemingway Road. Marion County is your Hemingway Road, right?
It is my Hemingway Road.
Wow.
It is. But I'm moving to Georgia in a...
Yeah, but you'll miss it. Everybody always misses where they grew up.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I love it here, and I've grown up here. I have friends here, and I'll be back and forth.
And Ocala's been part of our life even because we would come down here to property in South Florida with our motorhome.
Right.
And but
Which is
Ocala
where I met
was
her father
always
at
a
12 years
stopping
old.
point.
So
Oh, my God.
vacationing in Florida every
You
year.
met
so.
her father when you were 12 years old?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
But you're
So-
best friends then.
Well, yeah.
Sort of.
Well,
Where is he right now?
we are actually friends. We talk, and yeah, it's all good.
Are you still married to him? It sounds like
No.
No. Okay. I kind of wondered about that.
You also
That ship
have
That ship sailed.
No pun intended.
But we are friends. He lives in town, and it's all good. Like I said.
Oh, nice.
you also have ties to Mary Todd
Yes,
Lincoln.
Yes.
I'm a daughter of the American Revolution, and we have all the papers and everything. And
Wow.
we're a very patriotic family. So
Wow.
God and country we were brought up with so much information.
Are there
regarding God and
other
country.
songs on the CD besides the one we heard, or is this
No.
one song CD? Okay,
No.
this one song. Do you have any plans on making a collection of songs?
I don't believe so right now. I have written a song for this book and the YouTube video that my step-granddaughter is going to be singing.
Oh wow,
So, because I wanted the voice of a little girl singing the song.
nice,
So,
nice. How old is she?
she's 9.
Oh,
Her name's
that's
Emma.
wonderful.
She's
Oh,
adorable.
Beautiful.
Love her.
Well, it's nice getting to know all of you. So, do you have another book? I thought there was a second book. Or am I
I'm
thinking-
working on the second book on the shores of Charlevoix. So.
Oh, that's right. You
yeah.
just said that. Yes. Okay.
You requested to speak at certain civic functions and organizations because of your family heritage and because of what you do with Daughters of the American Revolution.
I haven't really done any of that. I've been very, very busy all my life. That would be something that would be interesting to do. I just haven't done that yet.
But
It's
you're
been
still
my-
creative in your writing.
Oh yes, very. I love to write. It's just good therapy and gets out fun, wholesome stories of a really good time.
And Bill, you sent us as part of the bio about your dad that he
Right.
was the epitome of journalists as to what they should be, and you wrote he got real angry when they were opinion pieces slipped in.
He started to
gosh.
see
Me
things
too.
change. Yeah, he started to see things change. And there's a character in the movie, one of my favorite movies, The Paper, that's played by Robert Duvall. And our dad was not as profane by any means.
Absolutely
but
not.
he would be very upset when when, as Bernie, the character in the movie, said, we reek of opinion. My dad was very much for finding facts, naming sources, not unknown sources or unnamed sources, and you go on the facts, and you don't print it if you don't have that.
Right.
He was not a fake news enjoyer.
No, he would not like fake news.
Yeah. Well, even opinionated news that's not necessarily fake it still rubs me the wrong way.
Then identify it as opinion.
Even if it's my opinion.
Right.
Right. I know. It just drives me nuts. And we do it every morning. We always say there's an opinion embedded in this story.
Right.
We sometimes have the game. We used to do this as a game. Can you identify the words that make it an opinion?
Wow.
Yeah. It'll be, like an adjective or something like the gullible President Trump. Hello.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
That's an easy one, right? That's
Exactly.
Cynthia, how is this family history and everything that your mom is doing and your uncle is doing affecting you and your outlook on the way that America, that life in America is?
Basically, I was brought up this way. America, no matter what, no matter who your president is, no matter what's going on, you need to respect who is your president. I love America. I've always been brought up that way from my grandfather. He passed on at an early age, but he always instilled that in me. My entire family's that way. And from seeing what she's doing with the song and living out her dream, writing her book, pursuing her dream, it really has inspired me. I'm very, very proud of her.
Nice.
And it makes me want to go out and do things. And for a while, I hate to say, I always respected our presidents that we've had before, even if I had an opinion about them. But the song really makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like America can be great again. And it is starting to go that way, in my opinion. So it really has helped me.
It's meant to unify people and unify generations and unify people, no matter what our parties are. How hard is it to say thank you? We can all say thank you.
He's doing a lot for nothing but insults.
Well, North Korea is a good example.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
You know what drives me nuts about that is that the people who don't like him aren't recognizing that amazing thing he did. Now
and I don't think they're going to.
How could you not recognize that?
Oh, I know. I'm thinking of inventing my new invention, a call brick for the TV when they.
Do you remember? Do you remember the word ISIS? Hello.
Hello.
You don't hear it in the news every day anymore.
No.
That's right.
It's unbelievable. So.
No.
Give us some information so we can download the song first, or is it not downloadable? Is it something we buy only as a physical CD?
Well, we can.
Is there
on that?
Is there a way to buy
That's fine.
How do we buy the song? I guess.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
website
is you go to www.americagreatagain.site.
That's site. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen.
.site.
Yes.
We'll put that on.
I made that mistake.
In fact, most of them will go to that same site anyways, and it's there. And what we're also establishing a foundation out of this to further honor the President and First Lady. The foundation is going to oversee 3 endowment funds, and they're going to the First Family's, 2 of the First Family's favorite charities, which are Wounded Warriors and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. So we hope to, over time, as the record sells, that we will build those, and they will go on in perpetuity to benefit those organizations.
Nice. Are you guys veterans, by the way?
My father is a veteran.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
We
We have an amazing veterans group in Ocala called Vets Helping Vets. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're outstanding. Well, thank you for coming in, sharing your talents,
Well, thank you for having
your
us.
family and the love that your family has for each other. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
So, do you all permanently live here now? William, do you still live here?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
live here permanently?
I'm retired here now. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting coaxed to move to Georgia eventually.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can take the cold weather for
She'll
even
come
a month.
back. What are you going to do in Georgia? Did you say?
Got married.
I got married. My husband's up there. He works for State Farm up
okay.
there. And
Well, then maybe
I've
it
been
won't
back
come
and
back.
forth. And yes, no, we're closing on our house on June 8th in Georgia,
Okay.
so
you're-
north of Atlanta.
Oh, you're setting roots.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But Ocala will always be my home too. So
And Alicia, you have a website specifically for your book, My Summers on Hemingway Road, hemingwayroad.com. I really enjoyed going to that website.
thank you.
It really is an adventure going through it.
All right, I want to end with your song. Thank you. Thank you for coming
Thank
in.
you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
we will be right back.
America was fading away. The good old USA. The amber waves of grain were dying off. Then the businessman stepped up.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your 1-minute news brief from The Source WOCA. It's election season, and